Imagine this. You're standing at a crossroads, faced with a choice. Do you go left or right? It feels like your decision, doesn't it? But what if every choice you've ever made was already determined? What if free will is just an illusion? This is one of the oldest and most profound questions in philosophy. Do we have free will? Today, we'll dive into this debate, exploring the arguments, the mysteries, and what it means for how we live our lives. Let's start with the idea that we do have free will. This is the belief that we are the authors of our own lives, capable of making genuine choices that shape our future. Philosophers like Immanuel Kant argued that free will is essential for morality. If we don't have the freedom to choose, how can we be held responsible for our actions? Everyday experience seems to support this view. When you decide what to eat, where to go, or how to act, it feels like you're making a choice. But is this feeling enough to prove free will exists? Or is it just an illusion? Enter determinism, the idea that every event is caused by prior events, and everything that happens is the inevitable result of what came before. Think of the universe as a giant clockwork machine. If you knew the position and motion of every particle, you could predict the future with perfect accuracy. From this perspective, our choices aren't really choices. They're just the result of a chain of cause and effect. But if determinism is true, where does that leave free will? Are we just puppets on a string, following a script we didn't write? Some philosophers, like David Hume and Daniel Dennett, argue that free will and determinism can coexist. This view is called compatibilism. Compatibilists believe that even if our choices are influenced by prior causes, we can still be free in a meaningful way. Freedom isn't about being completely uncaused. It's about acting according to our desires and intentions. But is this enough? If our desires are themselves determined, can we truly call this freedom? On the other side of the debate are libertarians philosophers who argue that free will requires genuine indeterminism. Libertarians believe that at least some of our choices are not determined by prior causes. Instead, we have the ability to make spontaneous, uncaused decisions. This view aligns with our intuitive sense of freedom, but it raises its own questions. If our choices aren't caused by anything, are they truly ours? Or are they just random? Modern neuroscience has entered the debate, with studies suggesting that our brains make decisions before we're consciously aware of them. In famous experiments, researchers like Benjamin Libet found that brain activity predicting a decision occurs milliseconds before the person becomes conscious of making that choice. Does this mean our sense of free will is just an afterthought? Or is there still room for freedom in the gaps of our brain's processes? Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre take a different approach. For them, free will isn't just a fact, it's a responsibility. Sartre famously said, "We are condemned to be free. Even if the universe is deterministic or chaotic, we must act as if we have free will. Because it's through our choices that we create meaning in our lives." But is this enough to satisfy our longing for true freedom? Or is it just a way of coping with uncertainty? The debate over free will has profound moral implications. If we don't have free will, can we truly be held responsible for our actions? This question has sparked heated debates in ethics, law, and religion. Some argue that without free will, concepts like justice and punishment lose their meaning. Others believe that even in a deterministic world, we can still hold people accountable for their actions. So, do we have free will? The answer depends on who you ask. Some say yes, some say no, and others say it's more complicated than that. But perhaps the real question isn't whether free will exists. It's what we do with the freedom we feel we have. Whether our choices are determined or not, they shape our lives and the world around us. In the end, the debate about free will isn't just an intellectual exercise. It's a deeply personal question that challenges us to reflect on who we are and how we live. So, what do you think? Do we have free will? Or are our choices already written in the stars?